Greetings and welcome to PinballHelp. Mike here. Today work continues on this Bali Escape from the Lost World machine. I thought I had it all working and it's been running fine, but the ball has been getting stuck in a hole in the back part of the playfield. The ball falls in, there's supposed to be a vertical up kicker that kicks it out, and it's not kicking it out. So I fiddled around with the switch. This is the assembly right here. And there's a switch right here, and that's the switch test it's in right now. And you can see that it's registering this. But before, it was very intermittent. It was very intermittent when this thing happened. So I cut the diode off, and I tested the switch with my meter, and it was flaky. It just was not. Sometimes it was working, sometimes it wasn't working. So basically, that was the problem. So I looked up in the manual, the parts manual. I've got all the parts stuff here, and I'm looking up the diagrams and things, and I get the part number for the switch, and I can't find it anywhere. It turns out that it's not. Nobody carries it. It's a micro switch, and here it is. Let me zoom in on that. Let me see if you can get that. Let me zoom in. So this is the original switch right here. And it's basically a micro switch that is slightly bent up here at the top. I think I made it curve a little more when I was trying to get it to work. So you could hear it click. But it's flaky. It's not working. So I tried to find this part somewhere, and I couldn't find it. I could not find it anywhere. So I went looking through my parts stash, and I came across a switch that is a little bit similar. Let me show you. Which is a more common switch, which is this guy right here. It's a micro switch, one of these kind of cherry switches, but you can see it's got a weird top on it. So what I did was I put this, and I got a Dremel out, and I cut it right off there so that I could match it.
5 p.m.
Yes, okay, thank you. So I cut it so that I could match it, and then I bent it up and fabricated this switch into one of these, and I have mounted it into the thing. Put a new diode on it and everything. By the way, paper clips are really good when you're trying to solder things. I'll paper clip the lead onto it and then use that to hold it down while I solder it. That's a useful little thing. So I've got the assembly together. I've got it in the switch test now, and I'm testing it. And so that's indicating that it's working. Before it was flaky. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. So it was definitely the switch. So in this case, this particular switch was not available. I couldn't find anybody that carried it, and I realized in the amount of time it would take me hustling around trying to find a comparable thing and trying to find something that might have been in stock, I looked and I found a switch that I had and slightly modified it. And I think it's going to work. This thing, it clears the up kicker too, so I'm going to throw it in the game and see if we can get that working there. A little close-up of the assembly so you can see what I've been doing. And that's the new switch there. And I basically took a little Dremel and cut the end off and bent it up, and then put new stuff on it, to the new diode, and rewired it up. So now I'm ready to screw it into the machine and see if it'll work. So there you have it. If you need to fabricate a switch, sometimes, if you can't find it, you can make one if you find something similar. There's a finite number of these switches, so you can turn something like this. Let's go back. Turn something like that into something like that. And darn. See, I need a camera guy, but I don't have one. So that's the original switch, and then this is the one that I modified. And there you have it. So a neat trick. And it's always helpful if you have extra switches like that. Whenever I get a switch, I usually try to get an extra one, and this is one of those times where having an extra switch paid off, saved me all the time and trouble, because you know, once you get these games apart, you just want to get them back working. They tend to stack up when they're not working. So there you go. I'm going to throw it back in, test it all, and just a short little video to show how sometimes you could fabricate a switch by just you know, I put it in a vise, and I took a little Dremel with a cutting wheel and just went zip, and then I grinded the edge to make it nice and flat, and then just bent it, and works fine. So for more, visit pinballhelp.com. You can catch me on Facebook or Reddit or Twitter. Thanks for watching.